Good morning, and thank you for waking up with us on this final Sunday of April. I'm Mike Strehlow. Here's a look at what's ahead on CBS 58 Sunday morning. Michael Schlesinger visits a Wisconsin distillery changing course to make a difference in the fight against COVID-19. Plus, a hero emerges in New Berlin. Pari Cruz meets a man and his alter ego who's found a creative way to lift the spirits of children stuck at home. And later, Pauline Lee shares the sweet side of life, a baker using her talents to make people smile during these unprecedented times. Also ahead.
I don't want to squash stereotypes or things, but for example, Lucille Ball was one of the least funny people you would ever want to meet. She was tough as nails and dead serious. She essentially was the first woman mogul.
A return to Hollywood's heyday. A Hollywood historian from Milwaukee shares his experiences chronicling the golden age of film and TV and offers insight on the impact the pandemic is having on the entertainment industry today. But first, in our ongoing commitment to keep you informed of the latest developments in the COVID-19 crisis, we check in with the CBS 58 News studio.
Good morning, Mike. For the second straight day, Wisconsin has a new record one-day increase in coronavirus cases. State health officials report there were 331 new positive cases on Saturday. The current total now stands at nearly 5,700 statewide. Across Wisconsin, 266 deaths are connected to the pandemic. That's up 4 from Friday, and there's now about 57,000 negative tests. The number of cases across our viewing area has seen a steady increase as well. Milwaukee County still has the most, with a little more than 2,600. At least 157 people have died in the county, 3 more than yesterday. Waukesha County has 299 cases. A new study says there's no evidence that people who have had COVID-19 will not get the virus again. That's the newest warning from the World Health Organization. Other studies have suggested people who have recovered from the infection have antibodies to the virus, but the WHO simply says there is not enough research. That does it for us this morning. In the studio, Mark McPherson, CBS 58 News.
It's been about 6 weeks now since Wisconsin schools were closed because of the pandemic. In addition to providing online instruction, one teacher is running an after-school program that's helping young people launch their own business. And as Natalie Shepard found out, she's working with them now to keep those businesses going through the pandemic.
I rock a flower every day.
Tiffany Miller can be found with a big smile on her face and a bright flower in her hair.
All of my products have that pop of color to it. So.
That upbeat spirit is helping her get through the pandemic.
To go a few weeks with 0 sales for the store, that hit hard.
She's a partner in the Bronzeville Collective in Milwaukee.
So the Bronzeville Collective is a creative retail boutique that focuses on Black and brown and queer creatives.
She sells creations from 25 different artists.
So you can wear it in your hair or pin it to your clothes.
Including her own fly blooms.
I like vintage buttons a lot.
There's a station where customers can create their own colorful flower.
I like mixing prints and patterns.
Miller also makes scarves, clutches, and jewelry.
This is what I've been wearing to the grocery store.
She heard her calling from a young age.
My 5th grade teacher wrote the word entrepreneur on the board, and I had never seen that word or heard that word. When he shared the definition, I said, that's what I want to be.
Now she's both. On top of her work in her store, she's a teacher at Milwaukee College Prep, Lloyd Street. She runs an after-school program called the Young Creative Society through future urban leaders.
I built the program, just started with exploring creativity with young scholars. They expressed interest in starting their own business, and I'm like, sure, let's go.
This one was inspired by Kobe. If you can see on the back, it says Mamba mentality.
Kids like Jaden Brown.
I also just want to show the community how a business rose from the bottom to the top.
The 8th grader created his Not Famous t-shirt line last year.
Not Famous is a business to show that you don't have to be famous. You can still chase your dreams and goals. And I wanted to put that message onto t-shirts and sweatshirts.
If they have that interest now, let them play with their creativity and see what they come up with.
Her students were supposed to have a business showcase for their products in May, which is on hold for now.
It's challenging because I want to see their face and be in the mix with their creativity, but for them to be in the comfort of their home, where most of our creativity starts, is a beautiful thing too.
Miller is moving her store online, selling items from Bronzeville Collective on its website. She's helping her student entrepreneurs make the transition too.
She does the polymer clay pens.
She's just the greatest. She gave me a lot of advice since she is a business owner too.
It may become a huge business. It may just be a hobby for now, but I just want to let them figure it out.
I'll find a piece of wood someplace and just grab it and say, this is going to be something.
A master wood turner teaching others how to express their creative side. And later,
forget about turning water into wine. How about whiskey into hand sanitizer? Believe it or not, one local distillery is doing just that during the times of COVID. I'm Michael Schlesinger. Story coming up next.
More news.
I'm Tony DeCopel with CBS News.
More original reporting.
Did the punishment fit the crime for you?
It puts everything in perspective.
CBS This Morning.
Yeah, I'm a home builder and I go to Nuns. Why? Well, my clients love them because they have all those smarty pants appliances. You know, like those fancy touchscreen fridges and ovens that text you when dinner's ready. Personally, I don't care for all that techie stuff. I'll stick to my good old-fashioned icebox, thank you very much. But hey, my clients love those smarty pants appliances, so we go to Nuns.
Nuns, kitchen, bath, and flooring.
In these uncertain times, it has never been more important to maintain a clean home or business. We are prepared to get your space back to clean and healthy again. We've added a new EPA-registered cleaner that disinfects hard surfaces and deep cleans carpet, rugs, and upholstery. Remember, we disinfect our equipment after every job and disinfect our vehicles daily. We believe in doing things the right way. That's why we've been your trusted partner in clean for over 7 years.
Experience championship golf at Sweetgrass, rated in the top 10 best courses you can play in Michigan, and at Sage Run, ranked number 4 on Golf Digest's list of America's best new courses. Sweetgrass and Sage Run, dramatically different, but equally exceptional. Casino stay and play packages from just $95. Visit islandresortgolf.com today to plan your championship golf experience. That's islandresortgolf.com. Wheel of Fortune, weeknights at 6:30 on CBS 58.
From trees, we get wood, and from woodworkers come remarkable creations. Michael Schlesinger caught up with a master wood turner last April, using his skills as a form of expression and to connect with those around him.
I'm not a snob when it comes to wood. If I see a log laying on the side of the road, I'm going to look at it and go, oh, can I use that?
Woodmaker Gary Dacka doesn't discriminate when it comes to what he uses to create.
Basically, creativity. I look at it and say, what can I make from this? I'll find a piece of wood someplace and just grab it and say, this is going to be something, somewhere down the line. I may not know right away what, I'll just find an application and what will work for it the best.
This artistic creator tells me he actually considers himself to be a master wood turner. The lathe is his means to reaching the final product.
It doesn't come to me until I start turning. I have maybe an idea when I put the piece of wood on the lathe. Once I get the shape started and look at the wood, it tells me what it wants to be.
Here, you're watching an actual handle take shape.
Now is when the wood starts to come alive. All the natural colors come out. Probably one of the best parts of any project is the finishing.
Daka tells me he's had an interest in working with wood since he was a little child, and it has stayed with him all his life. He wants others to know this passion can be the same for you.
Anyone that likes working with their hands, you know, if people have been trying different craft ideas, give something like this a try. You'll be surprised on what it can do for you. It's very satisfying. I think that's part of why I like the lathe the most, is that you can put a piece of wood on there, turn it, and when it's done, it's done. I'm off the lathe in an hour and I have a finished project. It's not taking me, 2-3 weeks to build this. It's coming off right away.
I had the chance to meet Daka at Rockler Woodworking and Hardware in the Milwaukee area. This is where various make and take classes are offered.
Most of my students that come to class have never touched a lathe before. And depending on what they're making, it might take an hour, it might take a few hours, but you're going to be able to walk out of here carrying a finished project.
I too have never touched a lathe until this story.
Go back
and forth.
That's all you do. That's all you got to do is back and forth.
But the guidance I get is invaluable.
A little slower gives you more control.
And the smell of wood too, that's great as well. There's nothing like it, is there?
Yeah, and certain woods have certain smells, which is really interesting. I've turned some woods that smell like popcorn. When I turn oak, my wife upstairs goes, "Are you turning oak up there?" She doesn't like the smell of it. Every wood has a different smell to it, and it does. Just having the sawdust and everything is pretty kind of interesting.
And just look at what you can walk away with. Things like...
I've done bird feeders. We do ornaments where we have nice scroll saw work that we can do an ornament with. The pens are real simple on the lathe. They're really easy and quick to do. We can do some small boxes. This is a napkin ring holder. The bowl class, we do a bowl class. This is a beginner class. We have a beginner that can walk out with something that looks just like this. We've got handles and kits that we do, specialty items. The pie servers or the cheese planes. We also have the pizza cutters and bottle openers. This box was made on the scroll saw. Isn't that amazing how you get all the colors on there? And this is a intermediate class, a little bit more difficult, but it's still a simple class to do. And of course our cribbage boards.
Wood has been used really since the beginning of time for different purposes. Obviously, it's needed to start a fire, to keep warm. But it's also utilized to make beautiful items. Items shared among different cultures, branching out to so many, but starting with yourself.
It's a matter of becoming one with the tool and bringing it to the wood. You will make a clean cut. You can make it super nice that you just feel good as you're cutting. There's what's called a sweet spot. When you're turning with the tool and you get that in the right position and you make that cut, everything else disappears. And all you are is you're in with the cut. And at that point in time, all your problems you forget about.
The kids get in their pajamas, they love it, they get their favorite books.
After the break, bedtime stories from the church to your home.
For those listing or buying waterfront or unique properties, you want knowledge. A knowledge of the market, with each lake and community having a character of their own. The real estate company, Lake & Country. Visit BillManette.com.
Not sure of your next move? Let the attorneys at Walney Legal Group help you. We approach the legal experience differently. At Walney Legal Group, we're here to help you fill in the pieces. Whether it's estate planning, probate, divorce, or elder law, Our attorneys will work hard for you and give you the experience you deserve. Lawyering the way it should be. Visit us today at walneylegal.com.
At Borth Wilson, our family understands how important your home is. That's why we're always ready to help with same-day plumbing service. And when it's time to update your bathroom, our experienced team of remodelers will be there for you too. For honest, experienced repairs and remodeling, trust Borth Wilson.
eAchieve is Wisconsin's leading tuition-free online public charter school. But don't take our word for it.
Yeah, I love eAchieve. It's a very good school.
Enroll today or learn more at eachieve.com.
Hi, it's Jan from Toyota. Many of you still need to be on the road right now. Toyota is here to help.
We're offering an incredible 0% on our most popular Toyotas. That's 0% on Camry, 0% on RAV4, or 0% on Tacoma. Plus, Toyota will defer your payments for up to 90 days. And if you need service for your current vehicle, our service centers remain open.
We're here for you. Contact your local Toyota dealer to see how they can help. Toyota.
Are you nervous about leaving your parents' phone plan?
You got this.
You could have.
It's just a plan. Nope.
Individual plan phobia.
Plan phobia? Mm-hmm. We got your back.
Switch to your own plan at US Cellular and get $400 back.
Plan phobia? They got your back.
Switch and get $400 back. Only at US Cellular. Choose fair.
For those listing or buying waterfront or unique properties, you want experience. Since 1972, I've helped people find their paradise on the lake. The real estate company Lake & Country. Visit billmanette.com.
Storytelling is a tradition that dates back to the earliest civilizations, a shared practice we can all relate to. The bedtime story can become an important daily experience to mark the end of the day and spark the imagination, especially among children. But with life turned upside down these days, one Milwaukee church sees an opportunity to bring people closer together. This morning, Rose Schmidt shares the power of bedtime stories.
Let's go ahead and get started tonight, guys.
Before her youngest congregation members drift off to sleep,
It's called Duck and Hippo in the Rainstorm.
Pastor Robin Pruitt brings them a little humor and a sense of togetherness.
In a tree.
Oh, my Lord, we love it. We tune in every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 o'clock.
For the Ferguson family, Pastor Robin's Facebook Lives
Hey, kids.
are a can't miss.
It's bedtime stories.
The kids get in their pajamas. They love it. They get their favorite books, and they just love to get involved with the stories.
Diana, Alana, and Malachi have been going to Faith Builders Church for 5 years, but the last month without it has not been easy.
They first didn't understand. They was just kind of like, well, can we still go to church through what's going on? And it's like, no, we can't, we have to stay at home.
They went from, 1 week of being able to see their friends, at church and their teachers and things like that to where now they don't get any of that.
But Pastor Robin found a way to make up for that.
And I thought, you know what, we need to do something at nighttime, maybe just so that moms and dads could have 30 minutes to themselves, maybe. And I grew up with my kids when they were little, reading to them every night.
What she didn't expect was that adults would be just as drawn to her soothing voice and whimsical stories.
The stumbling, bumbling bear.
Families are tuning in from as far as South Carolina.
We had 140 people on the first time, and I was just like, you've got to be kidding me.
At church, she usually has all the kids go on stage, and she sits down and she reads with them on the stage. And now it's like she's found a way to connect in spite of not being able to be in the four walls.
And then I'm going to get some for you. All right, second book tonight.
She reads 2 books each time, 3 times a week, a literature load that's keeping her busy.
Amazon's been to my house quite a bit, and every time we would hear, well, it's going to be extended another week, I'd be like, okay, that's 8 more books I have to look for.
She's introduced Alana and Malachi to new stories.
My favorite story that she was reading is Pete the Cat and the Boogie.
And the Boogie, he was dancing.
But these narrations are about much more than books.
Sometimes Pastor Robin has them post the pictures, and they'll post a picture with their Bible. or post a picture with their favorite bear.
At the end of story time, she gives them a fun activity that goes along with the book, from painting rocks.
How many of you have ever camped in the backyard or made s'mores?
To living room camping.
S'mores in the backyard.
One of the stories, it was about camping, and so they had us build forts. So they went and took my furniture apart and built a fort, and we had the blanket over it, and we called it Fort Nights.
Real quick, I want to just do a quick shout out to Alana and Malachi.
She gives all the kids love, all the parents love, every single time.
And her husband, Pastor Jeff Pruitt,
Are you good?
is never too far away.
I don't know. Did you guys see something go by the camera?
But she saves the best part for last.
I like bedtime stories because at the end, she prays for us.
And we are strong, that we can face anything that comes our way.
Bringing blessings that will keep visions of sugar plums
Because you live in us.
dancing in their heads.
Amen.
You know, we're all pitching in, which is really cool.
Next, some help from an unexpected source.
Hi, Grandpa. We miss you. Can't wait to see you when this whole thing is over.
I love you and miss you all very much.
And we can't wait to see you again.
Jones has been making breakfast better for more than 130 years. It all started with a great tasting, all-natural recipe. It was manufactured by the next generation, then scrupulously left untouched for 5 generations after that, because authenticity, integrity, and superior taste matter at Jones. So you can breakfast better.
And my family guarantees it.
Once weekly Ozempic is helping many people with type 2 diabetes like James lower their blood sugar. A majority of adults who took Ozempic reached an A1C under 7 and maintained it.
Here's your A1C.
Oh, my A1C is under 7.
And you may lose weight. Adults who took Ozempic lost on average up to 12 pounds.
I lost almost 12 pounds.
Oh.
For those also with known heart disease, Ozempic lowers the risk of major cardiovascular events such as heart attack, stroke, or death.
It lowers the risk.
Oh. Ozempic is not for people with type 1 diabetes or diabetic ketoacidosis. Do not share needles or pens. Don't reuse needles. Do not take Ozempic if you have a personal or family history of medullary thyroid cancer, multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2, or if you are allergic to Ozempic. Stop taking Ozempic and get medical help right away if you get a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, itching, rash, or trouble breathing. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Tell your doctor if you have diabetic retinopathy or vision changes. Taking Ozempic with a sulfonylurea or insulin may increase low blood sugar risk. Common side effects are nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, stomach pain, and constipation. Some side effects can lead to dehydration, which may worsen kidney problems.
Once weekly Ozempic is helping me reach my blood sugar goal.
Ask your healthcare provider today about once weekly Ozempic. We remain committed to keeping Ozempic available and affordable during these challenging times. With the Ozempic Savings Card, you may be eligible to pay as little as $25 for a 1-month or 3-month prescription.
Whiskey and gin have been temporarily shelved at a Wisconsin distillery, replaced by hand sanitizer of all things. Michael Schlesinger shows us how high-spirited enthusiasm and ingenuity have come together to provide protection against a pandemic.
There's nothing that can make your day better like a glass of whiskey.
Nicholas Moss certainly has his drink of choice, and he's made a career out of this lively libation.
We distilled this thing that yeast ate. Yeast ate sugar, we distilled the booze out, then we shoved it in a barrel and it's palatable. I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy. I love it.
This 31-year-old and his father run Dancing Goat Distillery in Cambridge, center between Madison and Jefferson. For the last 5 years, they produced up to 75 barrels of whiskey a week, not to mention gin too. But for the last month or so, a different kind of calling. They're solely making hand sanitizer.
The problem is the supplies are running out in the market. And so, you know, you can see through our whole guild around the state, people pitching in wherever they can. If they can't make it, they're buying it. If they can't buy it, they're helping bottle it. you know, we're all pitching in, which is really cool.
After all, it only made sense to reinvent themselves, given the family's history in the booze business.
My daddy's been doing booze his whole life. My granddaddy did his booze his whole life. I know how to take booze, proof it down, mix it, weigh it. It's what we do, you know. The main hurdle in doing this is handling the new ingredients. Hydrogen peroxide is very risky. Glycerin is very hard to deal with. In terms of it's sticky, it's thick, it's viscous, it sticks to things. But you learn how to handle the ingredients so you can process, you can combine, and as long as you can accurately gauge the potency and the proof and package it, you can make it.
Some 1,250 gallons a week, 80% alcohol, 160 proof. This glob worth its weight in gold.
People cry when we drop this stuff off. This is serious, and I love that we can serve a need. You know, a lot of people look at a distillery like, oh, they're just perpetuating irresponsible drinking patterns. We don't encourage on-site consumption. We're an educational facility. That's what we concentrate on, and so anytime we can combat that with something like this, we want to.
How does it make you feel, what you're doing now?
I am so proud of what I'm doing, of what he's doing, of what he's doing. I keep telling my guys, I wish I could hug you, man. I wish I could hug this guy right here. I wish I could hug the guy back there. We're overcoming. This is America coming together. This is what makes us great. We're filling needs for, people are filling needs for masks, for visors. We're filling needs for sanitizer. That's insanity.
A skeleton staff is producing 5-gallon buckets for first responders, healthcare facilities, and essential businesses. Currently, they have 3 recurring clients they sell to, but for many, the product is essentially a donation.
To reach out to us if you're still working, if you're an essential business and you can't afford that $150 recommended price tag, we can work with you. That $150 price tag is perpetuating our donations, but if you're in need, we're going to get you sanitizer if we can.
The sanitizer, in compliance with the World Health Organization and Federal Drug Administration, isn't sold individually, considering this is a barrel packaging facility. In the meantime, I asked Moss what his business will look like on the other side of this pandemic. A question you can tell he's thought a lot about these days.
Businesses have to change, and we don't know how we're going to meet that demand, but right now that doesn't matter. The other side doesn't matter. We got to worry about paying our employees who can't be here working to keep their families fed, and we got to worry about filling sanitizer channel needs. And so that's all we're worried about right now.
But there is hope. There will be a new normal, one filled with many raised glasses to what our potential can really be. Just look at what we've tapped into so far.
There's no better feeling than giving and providing or donating when you can, because we are one community, we are one Wisconsin, we are one America, and we can all make it if we work together to all make it.
Times like this, I think everyone's just kind of doing their best, trying to hang together and support each other.
Still ahead, a visit from your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
This is the photo I brought when Tom and I first interviewed Fred Astaire in 1978. This was the first of many.
A unique window to Hollywood's golden age. Next.
Get outside and soak up the sunshine through the day today. If you want warmer temperatures, you're going to need to head a little bit farther inland. That's where we'll see temperatures in the upper 50s. A little bit of a lake breeze, though, for us here in the afternoon. We'll see a couple of clouds start to roll into the area early Monday morning. Should be dry through the morning. It's not until the afternoon that we do see a chance for some rain showers. A few rumbles of thunder will be possible as well. But if you want to grill out today, it's going to be a pretty good day. Again, that wind getting up to about 10 to 15 miles per hour. Temperatures are going to be in the 50s throughout the afternoon, potentially dropping into the upper 40s as we head into the early evening hours. But again, we're going to see that chance for rain return mainly by midday into the afternoon on Monday. Chance of storms later in the day Tuesday. Should be dry for a good majority of the day. Temperatures getting close to 60, but we're going to see those showers linger on Wednesday, keeping us on the cool side, but temps will be on a warming trend for the second half of the week, along with a little bit more sunshine.
I have not been over since your remodel. We're in the market for windows. Who did you call?
We called Callan. They recommended the Infinity fiberglass replacement windows from Marvin. They're not only beautiful and strong, they're very easy to open and close.
Wow! And the whole process was so easy. I'm going to call Callan today.
Replacing windows since 1986. Call Callan.
We put the wow in home remodeling.
How can we help?
This is a giant eyesore.
All you have to do is point.
Oh, take that.
Nice! Whoa! Oh, baby, this is fun. This is amazing!
When you want junk to disappear, all you have to do is point.
Experience championship golf at Sweetgrass, rated in the top 10 best courses you can play in Michigan. And at Sage Run, ranked number 4 on Golf Digest's list of America's best new courses. Sweetgrass and Sage Run, dramatically different, but equally exceptional. Casino stay and play packages from just $95. Visit islandresortgolf.com today to plan your championship golf experience. That's islandresortgolf.com.
This is our home. We've never seen it look quite like this.
But there's no mistaking it.
And it's our job to protect it.
Because the best people to fight for our communities
are those within them.
So if you've just bought a Volkswagen or were thinking of buying sometime soon, we're here to help with the community-driven promise.
Instead of sharing stories of Hollywood's heyday in person on cruise ships, at workshops across the country, and with his Marquette University class, a Milwaukee man is staying connected with his audiences online like so many others forced to put their communal experiences on hold. Movie theaters have closed, major studios have stopped productions, Broadway has gone dark.
How many others are there?
And a number of highly anticipated films have been delayed. The coronavirus pandemic is having a crippling effect on the entertainment industry.
It's obviously been devastating.
Dave Fantle is a Hollywood historian who lives in Milwaukee.
While we all know of the well-paid stars in front of the camera, we sometimes forget that the vast majority of the people behind the scenes, behind the camera, people doing makeup, costumes, lighting, sets, all of those things, are working class people who right now are devastated, like tens of millions of Americans who are either directly or indirectly impacted by this COVID-19 virus.
However, stay-at-home orders here and across America have created a captive audience, boosting both TV and streaming viewership.
I think it's really arguable to say we are in a golden age. There's some amazing limited edition series, documentaries, all sorts of things to be consuming right now while we're hunkered down.
Dave Fantle knows a thing or two about Hollywood's golden age. He co-wrote the book on it. My conversation with him from 2 years ago about his golden memories from Hollywood's heyday is our Sunday morning spotlight.
So I said, listen, there's no more television after 9 o'clock.
That's the voice of comedy and TV legend Milton Berle talking about how he got the nickname Uncle Milty.
I got a lot of complaints from parents. People didn't want to go to, the kids wouldn't go to sleep.
You've heard of Julius Caesar? I'm his brother Sid.
During a 1950 episode of his TV variety show, Berle told children watching to listen to their Uncle Milty and go to bed right after the show.
Okay, hit it, here we go!
Soon, fans of all ages were calling Mr. Television Uncle Milty.
These two guys, not in the age limit that I played to, he said, "Hi, Uncle Milty." And I went, The wheels turned. From then on, I used it.
Asking questions and recording this 1995 interview inside the Milton Berle room at the Beverly Hills Friars Club were Tom Johnson on the right and Dave Fantle on the left.
Well, you know where I live now, Milwaukee.
I mean, Astaire and Kelly were huge. Cagney was huge.
Milwaukee's been Dave Fantle's home for more than 3 decades.
It was really the transformational experience for me because it was the first time I saw Gene Kelly singing and dancing in the rain.
But before launching a public relations and advertising career, this Minnesota native had stars in his eyes. Stars named Kelly, Garland, and Gable.
So I was mesmerized by the artistry of these people. And it's really what got us hooked and passionate about the golden age of Hollywood. And from that moment on, we haven't looked back. And this was 1974.
Fantle and Johnson's passion grew out of a shared cinematic experience as teenagers growing up in St. Paul. Their parents took them to see the compilation film That's Entertainment, a collection of iconic clips showcasing 50 years of musical films from MGM Studios.
And we became these film geeks, and We wanted to see all of the films in their entirety, not just the clips. So what we had to do was literally rent the 16mm prints of all of these films. We got the Bell & Howell 16mm projector and would schlep those around to Minneapolis-St. Paul area retirement facilities and show these movie musicals. And that's how it all started.
The enterprising teens' Films on Wheels business would lead to interviews with more than 250 Golden Age legends. 75 of the celebrity profiles are featured in their book, Hollywood Heyday.
I think they're unvarnished profiles. I mean, I think we're in their homes, sometimes we're in their offices, maybe a restaurant, but they really let their guard down.
Dave and Tom's excellent adventure began this summer after high school graduation.
When we went to Dan for the design, we said, what were the tools of our trade 40 years ago as young college journalists?
With a 35mm camera, reporter notebooks, and pencils, they set off for Hollywood.
This is the photo I brought when Tom and I first interviewed Fred Astaire in 1978. This was the first of many. It all started with Fred and Jean, and Hollywood Heyday is simply dedicated to Fred and Jean because we wouldn't be talking about this if it wasn't for both of them.
Well, she gives him
Fred Astaire and Gene Kelly, arguably the greatest dancers of Hollywood's golden age. Fantle says Astaire was as unassuming and down-to-earth as his Nebraska roots.
He had really no self-awareness of how brilliant and what a genius that he actually was. And we talk about contemporary. What were we talking about? We were talking about his watching Saturday Night Fever. We were talking about disco and the fact that he voted for John Travolta for Best Actor for Saturday Night Fever. So he very much lived in the moment. This is sort of one of my cherished possessions.
The positive feedback from Gene Kelly and Fred Astaire were, in Fantle's words, our Willy Wonka golden ticket. Breakout interviews that caught the attention and earned the respect of other film and TV icons.
We had Charlton Heston and Gregory Peck and Lucille Ball.
But Fantle notes the Queen of Comedy left little room for laughter during their Q&A inside her Beverly Hills home.
I don't want to squash stereotypes or things, but for example, Lucille Ball was one of the least funny people you would ever want to meet. She was tough as nails and dead serious. But I always say the thing that people need to remember about Lucille Ball, the reason I think she was so serious is that she essentially was the first woman mogul in the entertainment business.
On the flip side, one of Hollywood's most famous tough guys was actually rather kind and candid.
The big thing about James Cagney is he hated his gangster films. He was most proud about the handful of movie musicals he did.
Cagney was also generous. His assistant gave Dave and Tom a ride back to their hotel in Cagney's '62 Bentley, invited them to dinner, and before their meeting, personally responded to their request for an interview.
And essentially he says, I'm glad you had a good time with Freddie. He is a fine man. And so again, it shows you that with Fred Astaire, it helped open the door to the interview and the meeting with James Cagney.
Milton Berle wasn't the only cigar-smoking celebrity to invite them in.
We had about 3-4 different visits with George Burns. I still have 2 of the cigars that he gave me.
2 cigars and a stack of envelopes with Los Angeles and New York postmarks.
Carol Burnett, Jack Lemmon, Mary Tyler Moore.
And Bob Hope.
Bob Hope permeated 20th century entertainment, and he always sort of, I think in interviews and everything, had this sort of mask on. You never really got to know the real Bob Hope. And I think he put his guard down extensively during the interview, and you'll find it in the book.
You'll also find legends behind the camera, including Frank Capra.
And we took him to the Mississippi River, and it was, a really special moment that we could show the Mark Twain of filmmakers Mark Twain's River for the first time.
Actress Eva Marie Saint revealed how Cary Grant diplomatically stepped in when he noticed his blue-eyed leading lady squinting in the bright lights during filming of North by Northwest.
He goes, it's a little too bright for me. Can we make an adjustment? So in other words, he took the responsibility for the lighting being a problem for him and took the bullet, so to speak, for Eva Marie Saint. And she said, I don't think I ever told anyone that story before.
Hollywood Heyday is more than a collection of celebrity interviews, illustrations, and anecdotes. It's a bit of a memoir.
Maybe there's a little subtle takeaway lesson about how 2 guys, a Jewish kid and a Catholic kid from St. Paul, Minnesota, could take this interest and bring it to the level that we did, not because our parents said we should or shouldn't do it. No one really encouraged us. It was just, you know, intuitive. There was no magic formula. We just did it. And I think the whole lesson of sort of the tenacity or pluck that maybe we did is something that I think you can, you know, young people should really look at and, you know, pursue what you really want to do. And here we are 40 years since that first visit to Los Angeles. And, you know, we sort of still pinch ourselves and ask ourselves, you know, what was it that made us do what we did? And like I said, we're just glad we did it.
You'll find today's stories and those from previous episodes at cbs58.com/Sunday Morning. And please send your story ideas to sundaymorning@cbs58.com.
I know it doesn't seem like a bakery is essential, and maybe we're not, but happiness is essential.
It's not sugar, the sweet ingredient from within that's making people smile.
Anytime that I think we have an opportunity to do anything, even if it seems really small, we should do it.
And next, we meet New Berlin's Avenger.
Be there when the final friend suggestion is revealed.
What is it? Open up my
The emotional series finale of God Friended Me tonight on CBS.
We're federal agents investigating a matter of national security.
Execute.
We all have a little gangster in us, huh? That's a good time.
A new NCIS Los Angeles, tonight at 10/9 Central on CBS. Have a leaky faucet? Call Roman Electric today for the $39.95 spring service call special. And no, we practice social distancing and sanitize each workspace. They're the ones you trust.
Roman Electric.
Now offering plumbing, heating, and cooling.
The Burrish Group at UBS provides comprehensive wealth management focused on client service, financial results, and helping clients pursue their goals. Our multi-generational group of financial advisors allows us to relate to all of our clients. Every generation has priorities, and with our experience, we can find the fit that suits your cycle of life. Call us today to start the conversation.
Not sure of your next move? Let the attorneys at Walney Legal Group help you. We approach the legal experience differently. At Walney Legal Group, we're here to help you fill in the pieces. Whether it's estate planning, probate, divorce, or elder law, our attorneys will work hard for you and give you the experience you deserve. Lawyering the way it should be. Visit us today at walneylegal.com.
From our family to yours, we want to encourage you to keep going. Keep protecting what's most important. Keep hopeful in the face of all this. Keep believing. Keep being strong. Keep supporting the people on the front line. Keep staying together while staying apart. Keep being fearless. And most of all, keep dreaming. American Family Insurance is mailing our personal auto insurance customers a premium relief payment to help them keep going. We'll keep being here when you need us.
Have a light that doesn't light? Call Roman Electric today for the $39.95 spring service call special. And know we practice social distancing and sanitize each workspace. They're the ones you trust.
Roman Electric.
Now offering plumbing, heating, and cooling.
Good morning. I'm Jane Pauley, and this is Sunday Morning.
Experience thought-provoking and truly original reporting on CBS Sunday Morning.
There's a costume character roaming our streets, rescuing kids from the occasional boredom of staying safe at home. Before the pandemic, he was the hero we didn't know we needed. But as Pari Cruz shows us, his Stay Super message is exactly what kids of all ages need to hear.
Hi, guys!
Hi! He isn't spinning a web or scaling tall buildings looking for bad guys. But instead of catching thieves, he's catching kids with a smile and a wave.
You don't see Spider-Man in the car like every single day.
He's using his spidey senses and his Honda Civic to save families from the boredom of being quarantined in their homes.
It was really exciting.
I think it's really nice how he's coming around and making us feel happy in this kind of time here. So it's really cool that he's doing that.
Mike Justman is his alter ego, artist and essential worker by day, superhero from a safe distance.
You guys staying safe and having fun?
He says it all started when they put out a sign for their daughter's birthday asking drivers in New Berlin to honk as they drove past. To pay it forward for a friend's little brother's birthday, they stepped it and suited up. Ever since, messages have been flooding into their Facebook inbox with requests for the Lycra-clad hero to make an appearance.
Hi, I'm your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
On his off hours and on weekends, he swings from house to house, arriving just in time to answer the call of kids everywhere.
Thank you, Spider-Man!
Times like this, I think everyone's just kind of doing their best, trying to hang together and support each other. Being socially distanced is difficult for a lot of people. I think that's it's cool for them. It's cool for the kids. They're obviously struggling the same way that all the rest of us are.
Spidey says wealth and fame he's ignored. Action is his reward. The action of bringing smiles to the faces of the people he visits.
Keep fighting the bad guy, Spider-Man!
This family told us Spider-Man has been saving their home for years as their favorite superhero.
This is being a true superhero. He is going out and bringing complete light to these little kids' lives and giving them joy. And for him to take that time and bring his family around and give our community such hope in these trying times means so much, and it says something about our community and everybody coming together in this time.
Bye, guys!
Justman says he's just doing what any spider can.
To make them this happy under these circumstances, it just makes me excited that I can do this to them, because a lot of them the ones that we're visiting are very, very young. They have no idea what's going on. You know, they just know they're not where they're part of their routine that they're supposed to be in. And if a random visit from a superhero makes them happy, then that's great, and I love being part of it.
He says we all have powers, one kind or another, and he and his family are using theirs to put the neighborhood in friendly neighborhood Spider-Man by being there for their community.
I'm very grateful that we get this opportunity, actually, because anytime that I think we have an opportunity to do anything, even if it seems really small, we should do it. You know, it does take time, and time is really valuable, but we have that time. We're definitely willing and grateful to give it to the community that cares so much for everyone.
And like other superheroes before him, he's found a way to vanquish fears and make a difference, reminding everyone that even though times are tough, you can always find a way to stay super.
Guys, remember to stay positive and stay super, okay? I love bringing this much happiness and joy to them. I mean, I know they're all stuck in quarantine. This isn't ideal situations for these kids, so if I can make them happy, and I hear them going back to their parents after we're leaving, like, that was Spider-Man, did you see? That was really him. That makes me really happy, and I can't be more excited about doing this for them.
This week in Wisconsin history, it was April 26, 1922, 98 years ago today, when Milwaukee's first radio station began its inaugural broadcast. WAAK was licensed by the federal government to the Gimbel's department store in downtown Milwaukee, where the owners constructed a 40-foot tower on the roof. Operated by musician and producer Raymond Mitchell, the station featured acts from the local theater and music halls. The station was an effort to grow the public's interest in radios. Gimbel's placed earphones throughout the store where shoppers could purchase a home set. WAAK lasted only 1 year, but the effort likely helped Milwaukee adopt the new technology. In 1924, only 9% of Milwaukee families owned a radio, but in just 10 years, nearly all families in the city would have a set in their home.
It's brought so many smiles to people's faces.
A sweet way to experience the lighter side in troubled times.
CBS 58 Sunday Morning, brought to you by Gruber Law Offices.
Introducing Kia's Accelerate the Good program, where we're pushing payments way down the road for new buyers, helping current owners keep the car they have, and providing other customer care programs.
Renewal by Anderson.
I put off replacing my old, inefficient windows for years. It can be tricky, hiring contractors, choosing the right windows, and getting them properly installed. I wanted the job done fast, and I wanted it done right. So I called these guys, the experts at Renewal by Anderson. They have the full package, a legendary quality product installed by experts with a great warranty. Best of all for me, they can be in and out in less than 1 day. This month, buy one, get one 40% off BOGO window and entry or patio door sale with a free upgrade of TrueSeam screen. I heard that over 98% of Renewal by Andersen customers are happy with the experience. And happy's good. Renewal by Andersen. You'll love your new windows.
Renewal by Andersen. We love our new windows.
When you think of a bank, you think of people in a place. But when you have the Chase mobile app, your bank can be virtually any place. So when you get a check, you can deposit it from here. And you can see your transactions and check your balance from here. You can save for an emergency from here. Or pay bills from here. So when someone asks you, where's your bank? You can tell them, here's my bank. Or here's my bank. Or here's my bank. Because if you download and use the Chase mobile app, your bank is virtually any place. Visit chase.com/mobile.
Introducing Kia's Accelerate the Good program, where we're pushing payments way down the road for new buyers, helping current owners keep the car they have, and providing other customer care programs.
Get outside and soak up the sunshine through the day today. If you want warmer temperatures, you're going to need to head a little bit farther inland. That's where we'll see temperatures in the upper 50s. A little bit of a lake breeze, though, for us here in the afternoon. We'll see a couple of clouds start to roll into the area early Monday morning. Should be dry through the morning. It's not until the afternoon that we do see a chance for some rain showers. A few rumbles of thunder will be possible as well. But if you want to grill out today, it's going to be a pretty good day. Again, that wind getting up to about 10 to 15 miles per hour. Temperatures are going to be in the 50s throughout the afternoon, potentially dropping into the upper 40s as we head into the early evening hours. But again, we're going to see that chance for rain return mainly by midday into the afternoon on Monday. Chance of storms later in the day Tuesday. Should be dry for a good majority of the day. Temperatures getting close to 60, but we're going to see those showers linger on Wednesday, keeping us on the cool side, but temps will be on a warming trend for the second half of the week, along with a little bit more sunshine.
In addition to expressions of fear, anger, and frustration, we are also witnessing remarkable acts of kindness during this age of coronavirus. In the face of so much uncertainty, people are trying to stay positive, and as Pauline Lee discovered at a Milwaukee bakery, showing their sweet side in order to make people smile.
You have to. You have to, have those little moments of joy.
Business these past few weeks.
This is really quiet, yeah.
Has been different at Classy Girl Cupcakes in Milwaukee.
Hi. We're doing curbside pickup. We have temporary cases set up with all the flavors. So we're doing a carry-out menu.
No longer can customers come in further than just a few steps through the entrance door.
Are you picking out cupcakes?
No longer can owner Erica Aliyah and bakery manager Morgan Troken really interact with their customers like they used to.
We've always been so, come up to the counter and let me talk to you and show me what you got. And so it's been a little challenging with the disconnect of being able to see our smiling faces of our customers.
Thank you.
All of this has changed for the time being as we social distance during the coronavirus pandemic.
I just miss the normalcy. Should I do the pink ones?
Sure.
Okay.
But what hasn't changed are the reasons for us to celebrate.
They're in quarantine. They still have a birthday to celebrate, and we're going to be there for them no matter what.
Right. Birthdays, weddings, anniversaries, and just the need to satisfy the occasional sweet tooth. Those orders still come in.
Yeah.
But one day Morgan got to thinking, how could they sweeten the deal? Thinking about a way to get people to smile.
Because, that's essential.
That takes the cake during these tough times.
It started with the toilet paper because that was things that people were panic buying.
I thought it was an amazing idea.
The toilet paper cake soon rolled into a quarantine collection of confectionery treats, made into pretty much everything people have had trouble finding at the grocery store.
Clorox wipes, Lysol spray, Kleenex tissue, Bounty paper towels, Campbell's soup, and green beans, and Spam, and...
This will be a hand sanitizer cake. We are doing Purell.
All of it edible.
This is a vanilla pudding cake, and it has vanilla buttercream.
All of it created with the hope of trying to make the best of a bittersweet situation.
No, we definitely don't want to make light of what's going on because it's very serious, and just sharing something that's ironic and funny and brings a smile, I think just just does a lot to lighten the mood at home.
Little spout at the top.
And a lot of people seem to agree.
That pretty much skyrocketed as soon as social media found out.
The first weekend, we sold them all within minutes of opening.
Classy Girl Cupcakes now sells at least a couple dozen of its quarantine collection cakes every week. That's in addition to all of its other sweet treats.
And there you've got a hand sanitizer cake. 100% edible.
The coronavirus has disrupted many things in our lives, and it will for a little while longer. But until normalcy returns, these treats will hopefully continue to be a sweet reminder that you can still have your cake and eat it too.
I know it doesn't seem like a bakery is essential, and maybe we're not, but happiness is essential.
It's something so fun and entertaining that it's definitely a birthday someone will never forget. So.
And now, a moment in Wisconsin along the Ice Age Trail in Eagle. For something new under the sun, CBS Sunday Morning with host Jane Pauley is next. Thank you for sharing part of your morning with us. I'm Mike Strehlow. Please join us again next week for CBS 58 Sunday Morning.
Tuesday in a CBS 58 special report. Millions out of work and desperate for a lifeline.
We've had several hearings.